Subway presents the General Election Debates, live in studio on Radio Cayman 89.9 FM and 93.9 in the Sister Islands. Every Monday and select Wednesdays from 7 to 10 p.m. 2 sessions. One powerful discussion. With Election Day fast approaching, hear what the candidates have to say on the cost of living, housing and development, economic growth, sustainability, education, transport, tourism, immigration, and more. Who has the vision? Who has the plan? Hear it all unfold live, unfiltered, and on the voice of the Cayman Islands. Radio Cayman 89.9 FM and 93.9. Streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Visit Radio Cayman's social media pages for debate details. Brought to you in part by Cayman Enterprise City.
Also brought to you by Reflections, UCCI, and Yum.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice. And the Cayman Islands National Museum. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990. 949-8037 or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees. So fair. Today is Friday, the 28th day of March 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Remember, the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we do want to wish you a happy birthday or a belated one, whichever is applicable. And to remind you that For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Yum. Daily school lunch menus are available to browse on the Yum website. All you have to do is visit yumcayman.ky for more information. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. And again, this morning, we want to give a big shout out to our colleagues, DJ Lynn and Mr. Joel Wilson, wishing them a speedy recovery, hoping to see them back right here at Radio Cayman as soon as possible as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands into your places of work. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor. Well, you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During those periods, we do have phone lines that are open. We have a toll-free number provided, courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3261. This morning, we will have paid segments on the show. On our first segment, we will have Mr. Jordan Rivers from the Cayman Islands National Party. He will be with us. Those of you who watched the first debate here on Radio Cayman would have seen and heard Mr. Rivers speak as well. So he will be with us from 7:45 until 9 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, we will have independent member, Mr. Leon Gould, in the studio with us as well. So before we go to our first commercial break and bring Mr. Rivers in the studio, we just want to look at the birthdays for today. We see where Andrea Borden celebrating a birthday today, 28th of March. Happy birthday to Ms. Andrea Borden. I see also here Doreen Barnes Williamson celebrating a birthday today as well. Want to wish her a happy birthday. Upcoming birthdays on the 31st of March. That is on Monday is the 31st, I think, right? Hope I got that right. Miss Irma Arch will be celebrating her birthday. Then later on down in April, we see Miss Joellen Ray Smith will be celebrating her birthday. Lisa Arch Scott will be celebrating her birthday on the 8th of April as well. Let's see if we have any other ones that we need to note here. Yeah. Tomorrow, Jean Eric Smith will be celebrating his birthday. On Sunday, the 30th of March, Ms. Raquel S. Tibbetts will be celebrating her birthday, and Ernest Gilbert will be celebrating a birthday on the 30th of March as well. So, folks, with those birthday shout-outs, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we will have Mr. Jordan Rivers of the Cayman Islands National Party in the studio with us. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Spurgeon Andrew Ebanks, OBE, JP, 1914 through 1994. Spurgeon Ebanks served as headmaster in the government schools in North Side, Spot Bay in Cayman Brac, and West Bay from 1935 to 1946. He went to sea for a period of 6 years, returning home to manage his business in West Bay. He served as the sub-collector of taxes and customs for West Bay. He was a member of the Legislative Assembly, serving his district for 3 terms, in 1957 through 1959, 1963 through 1965, and in 1966 through 1968. He was the first Deputy President of the LA and chaired the Cayman Islands branch of the Parliamentary Association. He served on various boards, committees, and tribunals. He was appointed Justice of the Peace in 1961 and received his OBE in 1978. He was a member, elder, and treasurer of the West Bay, now John Gray Memorial Presbyterian Church. Mr. Ebanks was married twice, to Ina Nee Ebanks for 48 years and to Iola Nee Bodden for the last 8 years of his life. He had 4 daughters. He was a kind and considerate man, always willing to help those less fortunate than himself.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
The Rotary Central Dr. Bill Rudy Science Fair, a family-friendly event Saturday, April 5th, 8:30 a.m. through noon. The Arc Sports Center, Cayman Bay. The annual adventure unleashing the magic of science, the wonderment of limitless exploration. Over 50 science projects and experiments representing budding scientists from schools across the Cayman Islands. Sourcing energy, exploring the environment, oceanography, agronomy, rocket propulsion, medical technology, drone technology, water security, eco-solutions, math, chemistry, physics, biology, engineering, nanotechnology. The Rotary Central Science Fair 2025, Saturday, April 5, Cayman Bay. Every child needs to see and feel the magic of science, the magic of Rotary.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Step back in time and discover the rich history of the Cayman Islands at the National Museum. Located on the waterfront in Georgetown, the National Museum is proudly housed in the Old Courts Building, Cayman's oldest standing public building. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's the best part, Saturdays are free for residents. Don't forget to visit our museum gift shop. Every purchase helps preserve our artifacts and the historic building we call home. Visit www.museum.ky for more information.
Cayman Brand Source Home Gallery is having an appliance inventory reduction sale with up to 50% off selected appliances and 25% off all kitchen packages until March 31st. Enjoy discounts on luxury brands like Foster, Milano, and more. Refrigerators, wine coolers, and barbecue grills are all discounted. All appliances are included in the sale. Don't miss out. Shop now at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, and save big before prices rise in April. Call 623-5000 for more details or visit us today and take advantage of these incredible deals. Act fast before the best items are gone. Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Call 623-5000.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Hey Cayman parents, we get it. You're underslept, over-trafficked, you can barely find your sanity in the morning because you're still trying to find your kids' shoes and lunch boxes. Let Yum take some of the stress away. Every day, over 3,000 students enjoy delicious, nutritious meals from Yum. Over 5 million lunches served and counting. Private school parents? Browse the Yum Cayman app and order up to a month in advance or last minute by 12 a.m. the night before. Government school students? Just drop by the Yum canteen. No pre-orders needed. Yum can't help you find your sanity, but we can sure make your mornings just a bit easier. Check out daily menus at myschoolpos.com or visit yumcayman.ky to learn more.
The countdown is on for Capella Music Festival on Saturday, March 29th at the Festival Green, Cayman Bay. An unforgettable experience and non-stop entertainment presented by Cayman Airways and Cayman Bay, featuring international stars Ashanti, Clean Bandit, Gramps Morgan, Kamani Marley, and Elaine, Nyla Blackman, and DJ Puffy, alongside local artists and DJs across 3 stages. Purchase at Tier 1 pricing while supplies last at CapellaMusicFestival.com or in store at Blackbeard's, AA Rubis, FIS MoneyGram, Winter Circle, Tortuga, and Sing's Roadie Shop. Capella Music Festival, Saturday, March 29th, a true festival experience.
The following is a paid political broadcast. The views, information, or opinions expressed in this forum are solely those of the participants of this event and do not represent the views of the management and staff of Radio Cayman.
This is For the Record.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. As promised earlier, my pleasure to have in the studio with me Mr. Jordan Rivers, who's a candidate in the upcoming general elections seeking to represent West Bay North in our Parliament. He's a member of the Cayman Islands National Party. On our first debate here at Radio Cayman, you would have heard the voice of Mr. Jordan Rivers as well. Many positive comments about all of the young candidates who were on that show as well. But without any further ado, I'm going to say good morning, Mr. Rivers. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Thank you for having me, and I'm very grateful that I was a part of an historic first round of debates on Radio Cayman. There's very few opportunities in life that you get to be a part of something for the first time, so I'm glad that I was one of the first individuals to be a part of that, and thank you guys for hosting us.
Okay, we're going to get right into the meat of things because there are so many issues that you and your party have identified as well. And of course, there are many challenges facing young Caymanians in terms of education and employment. Let's talk about the current education system in the Cayman Islands and whether there is a need for reform, and if there is, then how would you go about it, reforming it?
So thank you for that. It is, as we've known here with the education system, of the 16 schools, 12 have received a satisfactory rating and 4 have received a good. And it is quite unfortunate to see that of all of our schools, that is the benchmark for how far we've reached in this country. We have a lot of educated young people, a lot of hardworking young people, and I think it's about time that we look to modernize our education system island-wide. We have to put curriculums like civics into it so we can understand how the country operates. We have to look to advance how we deal with business in this country. We have a growing financial services market. We have a whole area of the special economic zone that is cutting edge and pioneering in this country. And I think it's time that we upgrade how our education works for the jobs that we actually have here.
Okay, now you're a product of part of our education system, as well. Now that you've been through it and you have the opportunity now to look back, you've also had the opportunity to study in other jurisdictions, as well. Give us your opinion now.
So, what I've seen is that when you have, I think we'll start with public education.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you, I'm no expert in public education because I did go to a private school for the vast majority of my life, right?
Okay.
If not close to all of it. Is that we have an ability in this country, and irrespective of the systems that we follow, because as you will well know, we have the U.S. curriculum and we have the British curriculum, but our public schools fall under English curriculum. I think that the way how the Department of Education itself operates, we need to look to have educators being educators, and this is just a standpoint from myself and with the party, because we have created multiple work streams for this, is that if you begin to remove a lot of political interference, education does not need to be on the track of every 4 years, where just because the education minister is traded out, education tends to suffer. We turn it into a political football. We need to look at adding things like, if you look back and see now that we are having a 60% fail rate, where our children are coming out with level 1 diplomas, and we're talking, what is that? That's from F, E, and G, I believe, is where it goes to. That's unacceptable. You're just graduating them to graduate them. We need to replace that with TVET programming in order to give those persons real experience, real tradesmanship. And I think just doing simple things like that will actually make sure that every person graduating from high school in this country has the ability to succeed. I think we also need to go back to rebonding our students to get government scholarships when they go abroad, because we need to, if we're going to invest in a product, and this is just a simple business model, if we're going to invest in any product, we need to see some level of return on investment. And the fact that we are not really pushing for that or requiring for that is an indictment on us as a country and a government, to be honest with you. These are our children, and we need to let them know and understand, we have you. We want you to work. We want you to come back and be successful in your own country.
And that would help to, if they're bonded, that would help to guarantee them some form of employment, with government.
Unemployment only affects Caymanians and Caymanian citizens in this country. It does not affect the foreign work class at all, because if they don't have a job, they're not going to be here. So if we know where the root of the problem is, I think we need to work. 5% in this country of unemployment is absolutely unacceptable. We should have one of the lowest, based on our per capita, we should have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the region.
Mm-hmm. Now, people have pointed to the disconnect between education and employment as being one of the key issues. We know that we have workforce opportunities and residency. Cayman, we have the Ministry of Education as well. And we also know that there are provisions on all of the boards that deal with work permit applications. That is the Business Staffing Plan Board, as well as the Work Permit Board. That makes the provisions are made there for a representative of the Education Department to be a member of that board, to sit in those meetings as well. It doesn't necessarily happen, all of the time, but we have systems in place. We know where the job demands for certain positions are, because those are the areas that we issue the work permit.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And we have an education department. We have a scholarship secretariat that issues scholarships, as well. How would you look to ensure that the connectivity between those entities is something that is fully established? It's not left to chance. It's not left for someone to decide whether or not I'm going to be, a member, or I'm going to attend that meeting, but making it mandatory for those entities to collaborate with each other.
So, as you've mentioned, we have a lot of amazing facilities in place to ensure that we are doing the best to get our kids in the jobs that are actually at hand here. The thing is that something being good on paper versus it being enforced are two entirely different things. I think it's about time that we fully begin to start the process of centralizing government, so that no department, no ministry operates in a silo. Now, as you mentioned, we're having workforce opportunities with the education department, right? We know what jobs are there because, as you said, we're taking out work permits for them. Now, what I can tell you from personal conversations with several ministers in government over the years is that you have a split in work. You have the ones that are trying to train up the kids to put them in the roles, and then you have the other half of work that is going through the process of getting work permits. What I'm finding is that you're having more support for the work permit side than you're having for getting the Caymanian skills. So by the time that you have the Caymanian educated and prepared to take on the job that was laid out for them or they were training for, it's already been filled 5 times over. So I think we need to flip that on its head and say, listen, if it's not working from a government level, we need to create some sort of public-private partnership so that the businesses understand, hey, we are training these Caymanians for this, and you're going to onboard them. They'll be done around this time, and you can begin to onboard them. And I understand that work permit revenues are a source of for government. It just as all things in this country, government looks to see how much money it can acquire, and I get that. The country wouldn't be so nice if we didn't have a lot of money, right? But we have to understand that not just the monetary asset in this or the monetary capital in this country, but we have human capital, especially with our own people. Like I said earlier, we have to look at it from this perspective. Unemployment only affects our people, and we need to begin reducing that. I understand that we're dealing with an industry that's growing at a rapid rate, but the Cayman Islands National Party wants to take that from the perspective of, yes, we're not going to inhibit growth in this country, but you need to understand that you are allowed to be here and you're going to take us along with you, because if we do not have our people succeeding and thriving, how do we expect other persons to want to integrate with us and be a part of the culture and the system if they notice that once they get to the level of status in this country, there's less opportunities for them?
Okay. When you talk to some businesses in the Cayman Islands, they will say, we would prefer not to have to apply for a work permit because it means that we have to pay money for a work permit. But there are many persons who question how genuine that really is, because they point to the fact that, if you have someone on a work permit, you certainly have much more control over them and their ability to transition or to move from one business to the other, as opposed to a Caymanian, who you may hire. We're going to go to our 8 o'clock news. When we return, we want to start, at that point in terms of how do we convince companies, right? Despite the fact that they're saying, we'd prefer not to have to apply for a work permit because, we have to do all the paperwork. It costs us money. And, how do we really, really reconcile that? Folks, the conversation going with Mr. Jordan Rivers, who is a candidate in the upcoming general elections. He is a member of the Cayman Islands National Party, and he's seeking to represent the constituency of West Bay North in our parliament. Please stay tuned. Our conversation with Mr. Rivers will continue after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. Radio Cayman time check now 1 minute after 8. This time check brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
When you're on the go, the experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Caymana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. The hunt is on after an attempted armed robbery in Savannah. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service says just before midnight on Tuesday, they were sent to a gas station on Shamrock Road near Pedro Castle Road after a suspect armed with what appeared to be a firearm tried to rob a man nearby. The victim took off and so did the suspect. Luckily, no shots were fired and no injuries were reported. The Utility Regulation and Competition Office releases its Value of Solar study, breaking down the benefits of solar energy in the Cayman Islands. Here's Radio Cayman's Jevy Ebanks.
The study examines various factors influencing the general value of solar, including its direct impact on utilities, associated risks, and environmental and economic effects. While the report offers valuable insights, it focuses on analyzing avoided costs, net benefits, and expenses tied to consumer-owned distributed generation. Initially, it was withheld under the Information Act, and the study has been made public following a review by Ofreg and their team. Interim CEO Sanji Miles emphasized the importance of of transparency and public engagement, stating that the report aims to foster informed dialogue on renewable energy policy and to ensure evidence-based regulatory decisions. Jevi Ebanks, Radio Cayman News.
Young people are taking to the streets this hour as part of an anti-drug street march.
The march will bring together students from primary to high. The event will conclude with a special program at King's Church featuring presentations from the ELC and primary school students, as well as guest speakers who will share valuable insights on drugs prevention.
Cayman Academy's Youth to Youth Club member Logan tells Radio Cayman the event kicks off at 8:30. Guidance counselor Tammy Williams says the students will start marching from Goring Avenue with a route taking them through Shedden Road, Seafarers Way, South Church Street, and down through Memorial Avenue, ending the march at the King's Seventh-day Adventist Church.
We want to take advantage of folks who are going to work in the morning, who will be traversing those routes so we can build awareness. So as they go and they see the messages and they become curious, they can become aware of what it is that we're promoting, which is shattering the myth on vaping and other drugs.
Drivers are asked to use caution this morning along the route. And if you're downtown today, you might want to pop over and check out the Honoring Women Month Farmers Market, which starts at 11 a.m. on the Glass House lawn. Carlene Bramwell is with the Gender Affairs Unit.
In addition to fresh local produce, there'll be sweet treats, boba teas, natural hair products, handmade crafts, plants, and more. Come and celebrate our women as we accelerate action on women's economic empowerment through supporting our local entrepreneurs.
The market will be open through 5 p.m. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News with Govinda Gill. Myanmar has declared a state of emergency after a powerful earthquake caused widespread destruction. A major hospital in the capital, Naypyidaw, has been declared a mass casualty area. The quake's epicenter was near Mandalay, Myanmar's second city. The tremors have caused substantial damage in the Thai capital, Bangkok, 1,000 kilometres to the south. Rescuers are trying to reach 43 workers trapped in the rubble of a collapsed skyscraper. China's accused the United States of fanning regional tensions in response to comments made by the U.S. Defense Secretary during a visit to the Philippines. Pete Hegseth has warned against what he called threats from the communist Chinese. The Israeli military has told residents in parts of southern Beirut to evacuate. The army says it's attacking Hezbollah targets after 2 rockets were fired towards Israel. The Chinese leader Xi Jinping has met the heads of some of the world's biggest corporations in Beijing. He's promoting China as a destination for foreign investment amid the growing trade war with the United States. Kenya's former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has arrived in South Sudan to take part in regional mediation efforts between President Salva Kiir and the first Vice President Riek Machar. Relations between the two leaders have become increasingly strained in recent weeks. Officials in Nepal have imposed a curfew in parts of the capital, Kathmandu, after pro-monarchy demonstrators clashed with police who fired tear gas and water cannons to disperse the crowd. Several people were arrested. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. But I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
The countdown is on for Capella Music Festival on Saturday, March 29th at the Festival Green, Caymana Bay. An unforgettable experience and non-stop entertainment presented by Cayman Airways and Caymana Bay, featuring international stars Ashanti, Clean Bandit, Gramps Morgan, Kamani Marley, and Elaine, Nyla Blackman, and DJ Puffy, alongside local artists and DJs across 3 stages. Purchase at Tier 1 pricing while supplies last at CapellaMusicFestival.com or in store at Blackbeard's, AA Rubis, FIS MoneyGram, Winter Circle, Tortuga, and Sing's Roadie Shop. Capella Music Festival, Saturday, March 29th, a true festival experience.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
All right, just about 9 minutes after 8, let's take a look at the latest weather. Nice and sunny day outside with some partial cloud cover. Present temperature now 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are out of the east-northeast at 17 miles per hour. Relative humidity 73%. Barometric pressure now at 29.97 inches and dropping. Fresh to strong east-northeasterly winds and moderate to rough seas are expected to persist across the northwest Caribbean through Saturday afternoon as a high-pressure system strengthens across the southeast United States. Our forecast calls for fair skies with less than 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise to the mid-80s. Winds will be east-northeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts. Seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 6 to 8 feet. Small craft advisory remains in effect. Later tonight, partly cloudy skies, 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Winds will be east-northeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts. Seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 5 to 7 feet. Small craft advisory will remain in effect. High tide is gonna kick in the next 17 minutes at 8:27. Or should I say 10 minutes, and then at 8:27 it's going to be low at 2:54 this afternoon and high at 9:46 tonight. The outlook is for a gradual decrease in winds and seas from Saturday night as the high-pressure system moves into the western Atlantic Ocean, weakening the pressure gradient over the northwest Caribbean. And my friends, is your latest weather.
Hey, Bill. Glad to see you back in the office.
Who?
Bill.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think you're mistaking me for someone else.
Tom.
Nope.
Jack.
No.
Alex.
No. Want me to just tell you?
Nope, I got this, George.
No, you don't. Still not me.
Adam.
Not even close, man.
We're like a coworker that didn't forget your name. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Okay, good to see you, Mike Johnson.
It's Mordecai.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets. Ours are handmade using 100% white meat, unlike the no-gets. At KFC, we hand-bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
See now the movement of traffic is going still, pouring out of the eastern districts. East-west arterial traffic is cleared up, but getting to the Red Bay roundabout, Century 21 roundabout, CC roundabout, and the big roundabout at Bobby Thompson Way still got lots of traffic piled up in those areas. And slow-moving traffic crawling onto Hulda Avenue, getting to the CNB roundabout, and of course disperses as you go through Thomas Russell Way up onto the Butterfield roundabout. Expect the usual traffic in that area. If you're going through South Sound, Walker's Road still seeing some traffic, similar with some some traffic going through South Church Street, leading into Seafarers Way and into the main streets of Georgetown. Got one cruise ship in port so far, so look out for visiting pedestrians getting out and about in the Georgetown area, North Church Street into West Bay Road. Traffic coming out of West Bay still flowing smooth as ever along the Esley Tibbetts and, of course, down the West Bay Road itself. So get the camera over to the Butterfield roundabout. We do see the usual traffic heading east towards Dorsey Drive, and of course traffic northward bound. A bit of traffic coming off the Esley Tibbetts as well into the Butterfield roundabout, and that's stretching as far back as probably the distillery there. Heading further back, traffic slowly trickling in, and of course traffic heading up to West Bay via the Esley Tibbetts is moving smoothly. Road to the airport, very light traffic. Eastern districts got moderate traffic moving back and forth. Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, moderate traffic as well. Buckle up and stay safe. Look out for pedestrians, those on e-scooters, e-bikes, motorbikes, bicycles, and be safe out there. Please, no accidents for Friday and the weekend. All right, let's just have a safe and enjoyable weekend. And of course, this traffic report brought to you by our good friends at Subway.
Subway and Oreo has changed the dessert game. Introducing the Oreo footlong cookie, a full 12 inches of chocolatey, creamy goodness. It's big, it's bold, and it's here for a limited time. Perfect for sharing or not. We won't judge. Want it fast? Order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick pickup and earn loyalty points, or get it delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Don't wait. Treat yourself today. The Oreo footlong cookie is calling your name. Subway. Eat fresh. Snack sweet.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Water Authority Cayman would like to advise its valued customers that its offices in Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac will be closed for a staff function on Friday, the 28th of March. The authority's Grand Cayman office will close early, with cashiers closing at 10:30 a.m. and customer service closing at 11 a.m. The customer service office in Cayman Brac will be closed for the day. The Cayman Brac operations facility will be manned by essential staff. As such, there will be limited delivery service on Friday. Trucked water customers in Cayman Brac are encouraged to plan ahead and make trucked water orders in advance. On Monday, the 31st of March, both offices will reopen with usual hours, and in Cayman Brac, normal trucked water deliveries will resume. The authority apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciates the public's understanding.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Mr. Jordan Rivers from the Cayman Islands National Party. He's seeking to represent the constituency of West Bay North in our Parliament. So he's a candidate in the upcoming April 30th general elections. Before we went to our news, Mr. Rivers, we were speaking about those companies that speak to the fact that they would prefer not to have to apply for work permits because it costs them money and everything else. So how do you envisage going about helping those companies to achieve that goal of not having to apply for work permits, but instead employing Caymanians?
Well, what you said is what seems to be the case, is that most places here would prefer not to have to bring on foreign labor and foreign employment. Now, whether that is the case or not is yet to be proven.
That's what they tell us, yeah.
Right? But I would like to think it. So I'm very happy and extremely elated that all the industries in Cayman are dying to have young Caymanians, young educated Caymanians. So what I think now, as we both know, this is not a dictatorship. We're not a communist country. But I think there needs to be an understanding in place that, all right, I'm glad you are so enthralled with trying to onboard young talent, especially local young talent. So I think it would be prudent of them to actively identify persons that are Caymanians so we can put them on a fast track for succession planning. And I think the government should be playing a little bit more of an active role through the various relevant departments when it comes to that, because leaving someone to do something without oversight, you never know what product you're going to get. So I believe that if they are actively looking to fast track young Caymanians and put them on a succession plan. I think the government should have a bit of oversight with that and say, all right, well, we're projecting that they should be reaching your senior supervisory level or even a management level in the next 5 years. And from there we go on with the overview, oversight, regular check-ins, regular updates, and we can see that, all right, progressing nicely. Let's continue to go. And there, I'm pretty sure we can look to put some incentive programs in there just to encourage that even further. But it begins with identifying who we want to elevate as the business, and the government working hand in glove with them on various levels to ensure that we get the overall best product.
Okay. There are many high-paying careers in the Cayman Islands, and many of them, a lot of them are in the area of financial services. How will introducing a structured financial services curriculum at all educational levels help prepare Caymanians for these opportunities?
I think that's absolutely an essential aspect. One of the best, and we were talking about this a bit earlier on the break, is that having our kids go off and study in various different degrees, like, we have to come to terms with having a passion for something and having a career in something don't always align. So I think the best thing we can do, especially from a ministry standpoint, we're going to talk about education for a second here, is that I think we need to go about identifying what jobs are actually in the country and pushing our kids more towards those, because you know that we'll have a bit more control over the guarantee of employment upon coming back. Because once you do that here now, you're going to have, it'll be a lot easier to create those public-private partnerships and relationships with industry leaders in saying, hey, we have X amount of persons coming back by this date. We're looking to employ them. We want to get you prepared to onboard them, because the biggest thing we have in this country is that it used to be, sorry, you're underqualified. Now you're overqualified, or you don't have enough experience, or you don't have any on-the-job training. How do you get that if they're not being employed in the country? So we have to remove the red tape and remove the bureaucracy and make it easier for our students that have gone and sacrificed years getting a degree, sacrificed their personal time, their growth, to come back to the country and actually have access to jobs once they return back home.
There are many who feel that vocational and technical training or education is overlooked in the Cayman Islands. So why is replacing the level 1 diploma with a TVET certification important? Why is that so important? And how will vocational programs from year 5 onward improve a person's job readiness?
So here's the thing. We have to understand that the education system is very rarely changed. You don't start getting a lot more of in-depth knowledge until you hit university or college. But what I have noticed as a recipient in more modern times of the education system of this country, it's a touch outdated. Now, if we're going to look at the government level, you're talking about that level 1 diploma goes from D, E, F to G, right? Those persons, as I mentioned earlier, are going to have no shot at anything. It's the lowest form. And if we come from the perspective of that the way that education is currently set up globally, it doesn't meet every kind of learning style that there is. I can tell you personally, I'm a kinesthetic learner. I learn with my hands. Education, in its overall sense, was not my best friend. It really wasn't, and a lot of people feel that way. Of course, I love things like the sciences, history, PE, and that's because I was being able to identify where my passions were, where I had my interests in. But you can take that and look at, say, if you have a monkey and you have a fish, and you tell them both to climb a tree, who do you think is going to do better? Right? You're not putting them in the environment to where they can thrive and excel. This is where I think TVET is extremely important. So whether you have an overachieving student, a mid-level student, or an underachieving student, no matter what, when they leave school, they will be equipped for the world to the point where they will never have the ability to fail. If they do fail, that's on their own lack of ambition or choice. But we have to give them every opportunity to make a successful life for them in this country, because once again, as I said, unemployment only affects our people.
Okay, Mr. Rivers, can we talk a little bit about the revamped life skills curriculum? We know, for instance, that soft skills like financial literacy, career development, and emotional intelligence are increasingly valued by employers. So if a soft skills curriculum is revamped, if that is revamped, how will that ensure students gain the essential skills before entering the workforce?
So firstly, I think we need to stress this. This needs to be mandatory in this country, okay? Because those life skills, like we mentioned earlier, financial literacy, career development, emotional intelligence, and other key skills, we have to get our children prepared, okay? And that means helping them understand and I'm going to deviate for 1 second here. During the debate, I wish I had actually thought of this at that time. It was a really good question. I wish I had an answer for it at the time. We are the stewards of our children. The community raises the child, right? The minute we need to look to have them in productive environments constantly, okay? That's going to mitigate gang involvement, crime, substance abuse, that kind of stuff. So we can look to do these kinds of things during the summer to keep our children occupied. My parents kept me occupied every year, every summer, and I don't think I came out too bad, right? But that's the thing, is that children will be children. So by implementing these kinds of courses, and from the elementary level, having at least one career day, by the time they get to secondary, we have at least 4 career days per year. As this child develops, they will see the options that are readily available at their fingertips. We're in the era of technology and the height of it for right now. If we do not utilize these assets to better develop our children, we're going to have a massive brain drain, a massive loss coming out of this country. And we're seeing it now because we have not prepared our children to come back and take the helm. These are avenues that we can put in place easily. It's already, the facilities are already in the Ministry of Education. They can do this fairly quickly, but it's just taking a little bit of political will and a government that actually wants to see children succeed. So I think that's how we can do that.
Okay, let's switch gears. Everyone is saying, and I think they recognize it, that the Cayman Islands, that we are at a critical juncture where sustainable growth must be balanced with economic development. Yes. And, one is really outpacing the other. What specific steps will your party, the Cayman Islands National Party, take to ensure that there is an updated national development plan which will reflect the needs of all Caymanians, while at the same time preserving our natural resources, our cultural heritage, and our cultural heritage for future generations?
So I think it's extremely important that we finally get on the track of updating and implementing a fit-for-purpose national development plan that actually includes heavier zoning regulations for environmental concerns and density, while simultaneously we're protecting critically key areas that may possibly be endangered at this point in time. We know that development has become the third pillar of our economy right now. We are going through a massive development boom at the moment. Mm-hmm. The thing is, because we don't have a vision of what we are looking to achieve in the long term, we're going to lose a lot of our environment due to that. You can easily add things like national park legislation that protect key areas like Barkers, like the Central Mangrove Wetlands, like the Parrot Reserves and the Sister Islands. It's not that hard. Once again, it takes political will to do this kind of stuff. It takes the foresight and the desire to actually implement these things. We have to and the hardest thing that I've found through the years with political figures is that they have a hard time envisioning Cayman without them. At some point in time, OC, we are going to pass on from this realm, and we have to put facilities in place that outlive us. We can't be hog-tied to the solution. So when we look and decide what kind of development plan we're going to have, that is the quickest and simplest and easiest way to not only protect our culture, our heritage, our identity, but ensuring that Cayman moves forward through the centuries.
Mm-hmm. Now, there seems to be a subtle level of animosity, I would say, between those who want to preserve what we have, our natural resource, the natural environment that we have here in the Cayman Islands, those who want to preserve that, and those who want to see more development take place. How do we get the two sides together? Because they always say, politics is the art of compromise. You have to be able to compromise. Yeah. There are some who are not prepared to compromise. But how do we get both sides to the table so that at the end of the day, whatever the final result is, everyone is basically happy with it, but it is what is good and what is best for the Cayman Islands?
I think the easiest way, and I'm going to talk to you personally for a second here. I think the easiest way to do that is that if you want both sides to compromise, it takes that middleman to create the groundwork, to create the guidelines for how we're going to operate further. Once both sides understand that, all right, this is the game we're playing, or this is the field we're playing on, it's the simplest way. The simple fact of the matter is, OC, is that this island is only 72 square miles across, and for Grand Cayman, and we have two sister islands. We have a very finite amount of land space. All right, we cannot look to develop every square inch of that. So with that comprehensive fit for purpose national development plan, it'll identify, all right, these are going to be our commercial areas of high density, low density, residential, agriculture, environmentally sensitive areas. Once you lay out the guidelines for how it's going to operate, it's like the game of Monopoly. You know how it's played because the rules and regulations are right there for you. The thing is, having rules and regulations on paper without enforcement is simply just that. Rules and regulations on paper. So it realistically, the government needs to create the framework and actually enforce the framework. And both parties will come and understand that the give and take is there and they can operate accordingly.
Okay. Now you just touched on something that we were going to next talk about, because we know that even the best development plans will fail without proper enforcement, and you just emphasized the point of enforcement. How does your party, the Cayman Islands National Party, plan to strengthen key government agencies such as the Department of Planning, and the Department of Environment to ensure that laws and regulations are effectively upheld? And I'll just add a little bit to that. There were several, many people were perturbed that you had one government agency not so long ago challenging another one in court. And some people say, why is the government fighting, two government agencies, fighting amongst themselves?
Completely counterproductive.
So how do we get agencies such as Department of Planning and the Department of Environment to work together to ensure that the laws and regulations?
And I'll be quite honest. I'll be quite honest with you. I think it's about time that they do not stay separated. They work a lot more hand in glove than they actually realize. But we need to update our planning regulations. We are extremely behind on that. Now, I can tell you, I'm the first one to tell you, even though I'm an advocate for the environment, I'm not a zealot for it. I understand that there needs to be compromise. The life I have lived professionally in the tourism sector of our economy has guided me on that. I think those departments need to come together and actually rebalance their legislation and their laws so that we have a clear down the middle pathway of understanding. This is where this fit for purpose national development plan comes in. It's going to take the merging of departments here now that actually have genuine synergy. And I agree with you. I think it's extremely counterproductive that we're having ministries sue other ministries. It does not fix anything. But I get it. You want to make sure that your point is understood and it's clear. You guys actually work a lot better together than apart from each other. And I think that's something that I would look to either pioneer or work heavily on in the next government, if elected, is specifically that. Merging the Department of Environment, merging the Ministry of Planning, and understanding that, listen, EIAs are essential because we have, being in the Caribbean basin itself, we have extremely sensitive locations and we have a finite amount of land. And if we do not put everything back in balance to the best of our ability. At the end of the day, we will have nothing.
Okay, with that, we're going to take a commercial break, folks. You're hearing the voice of Mr. Jordan Rivers, who is the Cayman Islands National Party candidate in the constituency of West Bay North, seeking to represent that constituency in our parliament in the upcoming April 30th general elections. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
This is For the Record.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. This played a segment of For the Record with Mr. Jordan Rivers, seeking to represent the constituency of West Bay North in our parliament. He is a member of the Cayman Islands National Party. I believe before we go on to talk about transportation and infrastructure, Mr. Rivers, there was something else that you wanted to add in relation to the synergies that should be developed between, let's say, for instance, the planning department and the Department of Environment, DOE.
Yes, no, I think it's very key that if both those departments understand the direction that government wants to go in, there shouldn't be no hiccup, right? We're talking about the legislative arm controlling the direction of how the country wants to move forward. So I think it takes a little bit of vision and insight for them to say, all right, this is what we want. We're not going to necessarily leave it to ad hoc development or ad hoc conservation. And I think back to what I was saying, where if you set the rules, both departments shouldn't have any issue working cohesively towards those goals.
Okay. Let's look at traffic and infrastructure. Traffic congestion and infrastructure challenges continue to be major concerns for residents. We know that in West Bay, that some people say that is not a problem for us now. It has been relieved, but the way that West Bay is developing now, it may become a problem later on as well. So can you outline the key priorities of the proposed Master Ground Transportation Plan and explain how it will improve mobility and quality of life for Caymanians in both the short and the long term.
So I think here's the thing, the government paid about $250,000 to Deloitte to create how we're going to address traffic in this country. Currently, right now, it's just sitting on a shelf with no plans to implement it in the near future. Not quite sure why, but what we need to do realistically, right? We have seen in this country that at a very rapid rate of growth that every person has the ability to get vehicles, and that's fine. It's not necessarily a human right. It's very much a luxury of a Caribbean island. I would think the last thing we would want to do is have to try and implement or enforce things like what Bermuda has done, where you have one vehicle per household. But if it continues to grow at this unbridled rate, we're going to have to start looking at implementing these things. What I think we need to realistically look for and we're talking this should be accomplished within the next administration, is actually getting a comprehensive transportation system implemented, right? The amount of persons coming to this country on work permits far exceeds the actual amount of persons that live in the country. Persons that have status, persons that have PR, etc., etc. And most of these persons don't necessarily need any kind of personal vehicle. We can look at identifying individuals that may want to go and get a job that requires them to drive or whatever. No, those are as an as-by-case basis. But at the end of the day, traffic mitigation needs to be, we can't build ourselves out of a bottleneck or a traffic jam. As we've seen with the eastern districts, the east-west arterial is now going to be an essential piece of development to help alleviate that level of traffic. I can tell you, I'm in agreement with it because it is now needed. But if we tried to implement this master ground transportation along with that national development plan 25 years ago, we would not be having these problems now. It's the situation of lack of foresight and lack of vision. So get the national development plan and framework in place, get a master ground transportation plan in place, and you will see people, once they see that the entity is comprehensive and understands and is actually functional, we will see a natural decline in how persons go to using vehicles in this country. And if need be, we can start restricting the level of imports here so that everyone understands that we have a system and it works phenomenal. We would like to incentivize you to use it. There's a million ways we can look at growing this. But I think we have spent enough money in this country on reports, and it's time to start implementing these reports.
Okay. Immigration, we've had reform. We've had so many promises in relation to immigration reform. We know that the current legal pathways for residency and Caymanian status in the Cayman Islands, or for a person to live in the Cayman Islands, the pathways are permanent residency and then, of course, ultimately obtaining Caymanian status. Of course, you spoke about the transportation and traffic problem. Some of it caused by mass immigration. There are those who have identified the status grants in 2003 as being so impactful when it occurred. A lot of people said this is going to have a huge impact on the Cayman Islands, and I believe that there are many people out there who believe that we are now seeing the results of that. So how can we go about improving these pathways, permanent residency and Caymanian status, to ensure that there is fairness and also that there's transparency in the process? Yeah.
So if you remember several years ago, firstly, we need to heavily review the pathway to citizenship in this country. We really do. But if you remember a couple of years ago how if someone was applying for PR status, they'd get a small little picture and an article or a write-up about them for review. We have unfortunately removed that process heavily from our system. Whether now you want to speculate that was because there was a lot of special interest or not, the fact remains it's now gone. we should be able to control the level of persons we're willing to have come into the country to receive PR and status. I think personally, we need to look at capping that on an annual basis. Becoming a Caymanian or being on the pathway to becoming a Caymanian should be honored as exactly what it is. And you know yourself, OC, as a generational, that we know what this country provides globally, and we can't continue to use it as another new avenue of monetary gain, unfortunately. We have looked at it in the perspective of we have the residency by investment system, but the investment level is physical, but we don't see much investment in our people. We have to start looking at new avenues as to how we're going to identify what are the qualifications for how you can receive citizenship in this country. Now you'll hear that this is possibly an avenue to look into, where we can say that, listen, the only way to receive citizenship in this country, much like other major countries globally, is that you either can do it by descent or do it by marriage. And those have to be observed and looked at. We've had a huge crackdown in the past year and a half on marriages of convenience. So this is honestly the to the point where we're getting. OC, we are granting PR at an average rate of 76 persons per month. That's growing. That's growing. That's going to become a problem because, as you just mentioned, the mass status grants, no fault of their own, that was our government doing that, and then we're talking, that was in the early 2000s, that was at the peak of, I believe, the UDP administration, right? We are paying for that now. Our country has yet to digest that level of person, but yet we're now continuing to grant PR at a rate of 76 persons. We're going to become overwhelmed. This is how you lose your culture, your identity, and your heritage. You're becoming overburdened with so much other noise around here. And I think it's time that we start to slow that down a little bit. Give our Caymanians the ability to digest the influx of persons and allow us to grow our children to succeed and develop themselves in this country.
Okay, we're going to take our last commercial break. This conversation with Mr. Jordan Rivers will continue after this short commercial break.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay my bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Step back in time and discover the rich history of the Cayman Islands at the National Museum. Located on the waterfront in Georgetown, the National Museum is proudly housed in the Old Courts building, Cayman's oldest standing public building. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's the best part, Saturdays are free for residents. Don't forget to visit our museum gift shop. Every purchase helps preserve our artifacts and the historic building we call home. Visit www.museum.ky for more information.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Cayman Brand Source Home Gallery is having an appliance inventory reduction sale with up to 50% off selected appliances and 25% off all kitchen packages until March 31st. Enjoy discounts on luxury brands like Foster, Milano, and more. Refrigerators, wine coolers, and barbecue grills are all discounted. All appliances are included in the sale. Don't miss out. Shop now at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, and save big before prices rise in April. Call 623-5000 for more details or visit us today and take advantage of these incredible deals. Act fast before the best items are gone. Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Call 623-5000.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're in the last leg of this segment with Mr. Jordan Rivers. Mr. Rivers, one of our listeners have said, and obviously a fan of yours, person says, good morning, OC and Jordan, the brilliant mind candidate for West Bay North. Question for Jordan, do you believe that the damage caused by previous governments or a previous government by wholesaling status in 2003, selling out to the Dart Corporation, the 7 Mile Beach and Barkers, along with giving decades of concessions, will or is harming the Cayman Islands?
Well, I would like to thank that viewer for sending that in. That's actually a very important piece here. I will say that I completely agree with what they've said, personally. We, as I mentioned earlier, to no fault of those persons, to no fault of their own, for those persons that received it, the fact remains is that we as a country have not digested that. If we're talking about the pressures now of unemployment of our people, of lack of opportunity of our people, you can trace it back to those status grants, because as time has gone on, people have had kids, people have brought their dependencies over. That has put a lot of infrastructural strain on the Cayman Islands, because now, what do we do with them? Where do we train them? Our kids that have been here, that we were hoping would have had a future that you have seen in the 70s and 80s, have lost that here now. We have completely overhauled, we have lacked to overhaul our system to be able to take those persons on. So yes, I do think that those mass status grants have played a pivotal role in the way that we are dealing with business here now, where we have chosen to go and receive quick money here and there instead of developing our own people. What I can add to that is that back in the day, when you had that NRA deal that allowed for, I believe it's Hotel Indigo, to go where it is here now, we were supposed to have a green space to begin with for camping, because the hotels at that time didn't like the fact that we were out there. Look at it now. Successive governments have pushed that aside and allowed development to take place on a large scale. We have lost access to the water in this country. We're constantly having battles for beach access rights. And if we didn't have people that stand up, like the West Bay, I think it's the West Bay Action Committee that was pioneering or spearheading that, as how I view it as a citizen, not even as a person running for office, we would have lost that by now. And it's quite unfortunate. Those same bad deals from successive governments all the way from the 2000s has what has put places like Barkers in jeopardy to begin with. Barkers should never have been a political football in this country, but yeah, we have made it that way. That is what triggered the Foreign Commonwealth Office to come down here and audit not once, not twice, but 3 times. And all 3 of those times, they could not find value for money with this deal. That's how we even got Barkers back to begin with. And now we're seeing, fast forward to 2025 now, we're seeing that Barkers is about to be used again to pay off debts to developers instead of using cash reserves. So it makes me question here now, we're talking a lot of money, but we're not talking hundreds of millions of dollars. We're talking something to the tune of about $17 to $35 million of debt. Government should have that money to pay that off. We should not be selling our birthright. I'd like to also just to talk about that for a second. The bane of every West Bayer's existence is the loss of that West Bay Road. and this is how it happened. So I don't think that we should be taking that lightly or forgetting about that. There's a reason we move forward in a certain way with this country, is because the decisions were taken on our behalf but not in our interest. And there's a saying I have on my campaign trail: decisions for pocket, not for people. And what that caller said was a clear indicator of that. Decisions for pocket, not for people.
Okay, let's look at some of the legislative changes that you believe that are necessary to ensure that government employment policies align with those of the private sector, the standards that have been established for them in law and in regulation.
Mm-hmm.
And how would this impact the long-term residence and workforce sustainability of the Cayman Islands? So, government employment policies versus what we have for the private sector. Is there a contradiction there?
There's a
and if
massive
there is, what
contradiction.
would happen?
Yeah, so there's a massive contradiction. What we have seen, and it's grown very rapidly, I think government has put a band-aid on an open wound, is that in the private sector, there is a rollover policy, and whatever that looks like, and as they choose to change it, is whatever it becomes. But in government, they don't have to adhere to that same rollover policy. So what that has created now, that has created a new pathway for citizenship for a lot of persons. I think it's about time that we make sure that government adheres to the same hiring and rollover practices of the private sector, because this is not a do as I say, not as I do situation. We are the leaders of this country, and we need to lead by example. I don't think it's fair that persons will try to come here, get a government job, and exploit that, and have the entitlement, I guess we'll call it, to feeling as though they're going to be guaranteed citizenship in this country. That has to stop. We need to take a hard look on our people and focus on our people first before we can even consider taking on more and more and more. So I think that loophole needs to drastically close, and close as of yesterday. Sorry to tell you, it's just where we are as a country, and we can no longer have this mentality of lack of foresight, lack of vision, lack of accountability, lack of transparency. We are suffering for it. We've been suffering with it for at least the past 25 years.
Okay. Now, I know earlier in the discussion we talked about, the synergies that can be established amongst government agencies, government departments. As one of the younger generation who is more tech savvy than persons like me,
I think you do pretty good.
Thank. Can you talk about how technology can be improved to facilitate the seamless information sharing amongst key government agencies, and then what benefits would accrue, in terms of being able to enforce, being able to monitor things that are occurring? And of course, now we have artificial intelligence, as well. Would you be in agreement with government investing more in technology to help to monitor, to help to allow various government agencies to communicate, their systems to communicate with each other?
For sure. Now, I will tell you, even though I am from a younger generation, I am still personally a little bit wary of AI. I see the usage, I see the ability, but that's a lot of information circling around there, OC. Yeah. What I can say is that I think that it is time for government to modernize. If we have a centralized hub inside of government that dispenses information, there is no miscommunication. You begin to remove that here now. That will actually increase the synergies of every department and how they work, because it's an open source platform. They're not working in silos. Just to add a little bit of information here for you, I believe that we have a projection. It's about 46 to 64%. I want to say it's roughly in that area of IT work in the future, but we only have about 8% of persons that are willing to take that on. So it's we're talking about creating a whole new industry, not a new industry, opening up and expanding on an industry that is going into the future. The future is technology based, because that makes life easier. So yes, I would very much advocate for us modernizing how government operates when it comes to information and data sharing amongst itself. We have to I'll tell you something quite funny. One of my favorite things that I've heard over the past couple of years is that if government was in the business of making money, it'd be out of business, right? But we have to take the business mentality and apply it to government. Cayman is a corporate entity, whether we look at it or not. So is the US, so is Canada, so is England, so is every major country. If you do not run it like a business, it will inevitably fail. So I think that we need to look at processes that allow us to advance ourselves with a business model. It'll also speed track accruement of revenue. It'll speed up the disbursement of information amongst several government departments because, like we said earlier, if we're talking synergies, if the Department of Environment and Department of Planning understand where central government wants to go and how we're looking with a national fit-for-purpose development plan, there should be no problem. There should be no lawsuits amongst each other. We can move forward together.
Okay, Mr. Rivers, I want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments as well.
Oh, yes, let me actually plug the party here real quick. So give me one moment here, good sir. So, that's not it. I'll let you all know this from now while I'm actually bringing this up here. I will be attending the Chamber of Commerce debate tonight. That'll be starting at 7 p.m. So I hope everyone can tune in to listen to that. I will also be having my next public meeting will be April 2nd, I think 7 p.m. on Anderson Road, next there to Cobalt Coast.
Okay.
All right. If anyone needs to contact me, you can reach me at 938-8668. You can also email me, and I'll repeat that again. The number is 938-8668. You can also email me at jordan.rivers@nationalparty.ky. I'm going to plug the party here now. Our website is nationalparty.ky. You can contact us at info@nationalparty.ky. The party headquarters is 529 Shedden Road, Grand Cayman. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And we have some other information coming in the pipeline, but just stay tuned for that.
Okay, just a few quick comments before we go to our headline news. Before I let you go, this person says, "Good morning, gentlemen. This is the first time hearing Jordan speak. He's very intelligent and well-spoken. Wow. Wishing him all the best." And let's look and see if there are any others. This one says, "My heart is full as I listen to this young man. Now I know there is still hope for our Cayman Islands. I want to urge the voters of his constituency to give him a chance. His biggest competitor is a man who has been there 2 to 3 terms before. He had his chance. Vote for this brilliant young man who has such a clear understanding of what problems we are facing, and he has the courage to do what is needed." Let me see the other one. This person says, "Since the opening of the election campaign, I've been following the candidates' initiatives. I'm not hearing, however, anything with a focus on resurrecting family life and values. Without these having priority as a nation, we shall appear to be prospering, but that will only be a mirage." And do I have another one here? "Just tune in. Mr. Rivers is speaking very intelligent. Would he say," well, I'll ask the question, but you won't get a chance to answer it this morning. "Would he say what he would try to do if he's elected? Caymanians are fully equipped and qualified and posts rewarded for the outside world." Well, if they, unfortunately, that person wasn't listening earlier this morning. Otherwise, they would have heard what you said in relation
Go
to
back
that.
on the YouTube and close off and listen.
Yes, yep. And this person says 2 thumbs up to Mr. Rivers. So, folks, that is it. We're going to go to our headline news. When we return, we're going to have another candidate in the studio with us at 9:30, Mr. Leon Gould. So between 9 and 9:30, we're going to have an open line for you to call in. I have a few things that I want to observe as well. So don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The preceding was a paid political broadcast.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The Queen Elizabeth II Botanic Park is hosting its orchid show and sale this weekend. You can expect natural beauty, family fun, and an exciting raffle. The show is from 9 until 4 both days. A high-powered delegation of U.S. officials will spend today at a remote military base in Greenland in what is being viewed as the latest move by the U.S. as it amplifies its desire to acquire the Danish territory. The visit by Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife comes amid souring relations between the U.S. and Denmark over the island. Vance's late addition to what was originally billed as a private tour by the U.S. Second Lady is the latest twist in what has become a tangled diplomatic journey. And U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order targeting the Smithsonian Institute, which operates more than 20 museums and research centers visited by millions yearly in Washington, D.C. and New York City. The order directs the vice president to, quote, eliminate improper, divisive, or anti-American ideology from the Institute's museums, centers, and the National Zoo in Washington. The move is part of Trump's efforts to shape American culture in addition to politics. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. So, as I said at the end of the last segment, we will have independent candidate Mr. Leon Gould in the studio with us at 9:30. Now, if you notice, those messages and complimentary messages to Mr. Jordan Rivers came in at the last part of the show. And, you know, I wanted to ensure that I shared them with him. But if you're going to have any questions or comments for Mr. Gould, I would say to you, send them in early. You know the number, 925-3261. That's our WhatsApp number. Send us the WhatsApp messages. We will have them there. We can preserve them and share them with him when he's in the studio. I'm going to go to the birthday shout-outs. There are a few more that people have requests that we have received. And then I want to come back to the WhatsApp message that the person sent in relation to the fact that they haven't seen anything with a focus on resurrecting family life and values. I want to talk a little bit, about that and what I have observed so far as it relates to debates or forum taking place. So, let's look at the birthdays that I was asked to acknowledge. Let me find those. Bum. Don't like to have. Okay. This person wants to send a birthday shout out to happy birthday shout out to my brother Randa Miles today, March the 28th. I would love for him to be recognized and celebrated on his special day. So happy birthday to Mr. Randy Miles, coming from your brother. I don't have the name of your brother, Michelle Minzet Vernon, possibly. Please confirm that for us. That will help us along the way. Any other birthday greetings here? Yes, here we go. This is for a birthday shout out for Saturday, the 29th of March, for my one and only son, Jean Eric, a.k.a. Notch, from his mama, Miss Lanamy. And she's also asking for Mr. Burns Ruddy on his birthday. She says, Mr. Burns was my first boss as the manager of Kirk Plaza. That's coming from Miss Lanamy as well. Thank you, Miss Lanamy, for that. So now let's go back to this person who has written in and said that I have been following the candidates' initiatives. I am not hearing, however, anything with a focus on resurrecting family life. Now, I want to say this. When you look at the U.S. campaign in many other countries, candidates, when they're on their platforms, well, they will have their family in the background, wife and children, husband and children, whatever, with them. Now, that may be in a party setting, that may be a little bit difficult because, you know, you have all of the party candidates on there. But when they have their personal meetings, and I must admit, some I have been able to watch, you know, on streaming services, whatever. I don't attend any meetings in person, and I do that for a reason, but I do watch them. But I am almost in agreement with this person who asked the question, where's the focus on family? You listen to the introductions. Well, first of all, I don't have anything against the Chamber Forum. I would offer a comment that I believe that the introduction of the candidates and their bios, let the candidates do that. Let them say where they've come from, what they have done, what they have achieved. Let them do that, not the moderators. And how many candidates, when they talk about themselves, talk about their wife or their husband and their children and everything else. I agree that the focus, the focus as far as presentation is concerned, we don't see a whole lot of it in the family. Now we know, Cayman, small jurisdiction, everyone knows everybody. People have a tendency to be extremely critical and vocal, and we see how terrible people can get, especially on social media platforms. So in a way, I can understand if people, family members don't really want to go on the platform, especially those who would bear the brunt of criticism, children as well, and that is why there are unwritten rules in many jurisdictions, in the United States as well, not always adhered to, but you keep family and you keep children, out of the discourse. But that family support, not seeing it in this regard. I could be wrong, and if you think that I'm wrong or if you've observed the same thing, let's hear from you. Give us some comments, on that. We have another 15 minutes before Mr. Leon Gould gets into the studio. So meanwhile, we are going to, let's check to see if there are any messages, and if there are no messages, then we're going to go to a commercial break. But you never know, people are always sending me. Yes, here we go. This, one of our listeners, and this came in on my WhatsApp. Good morning, OC. What a brilliant young man Jordan is. So excellent. We have so many brilliant young Caymanians out there. What we need to do is we need to support them. We don't need to discourage them. We don't need to denigrate them in any way. We need to, hold them up. Oh, one thing before we go to the commercial break. This is extremely important. Yesterday, as the host of Talk Today, we did have members from the Cayman Academy talking about their anti-drug march, which is taking place today. It was starting at 8:30 this morning. They may still be on their route. If you're out there as a driver using our roads, please be extremely cautious with the march that is going on out there. Their anti-drug march has to do with shattering the myths of vaping. They will be, the route is Goring Avenue, Shaden Road, Seafarers Way, South Church Street, Memorial Avenue, and back to Cayman Academy. You were welcome to join them. Like I said, it started at 8:30. What to expect: students from primary to high school marching in unity. Special presentation at King's Church, the guest speaker. They would have a guest speaker and performances from the Early Learning Center and the primary school, community involvement and awareness. So if you're out there, or if you were out there, hope that you didn't in any way get frustrated because the traffic may have been slowed down quite a bit. We also were made to understand that there would be police escort assisting them in their venture as well. Folks, with that, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Cayman Brand Source Home Gallery is having an appliance inventory reduction sale with up to 50% off selected appliances and 25% off all kitchen packages until March 31st. Enjoy discounts on luxury brands like Foster, Milano, and more. Refrigerators, wine coolers, and barbecue grills are all discounted. All appliances are included in the sale. Don't miss out. Shop now at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, and save big before prices rise in April. Call 623-5000 for more details or visit us today and take advantage of these incredible deals. Act fast before the best items are gone. Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Call 623-5000.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
The countdown is on for Capella Music Festival on Saturday, March 29th at the Festival Green, Cayman Bay. An unforgettable experience and non-stop entertainment presented by Cayman Airways and Cayman Bay, featuring international stars Ashanti, Clean Bandit, Gramps Morgan, Kamani Marley, and Elaine, Nyla Blackman, and DJ Puffy, alongside local artists and DJs across 3 stages. Purchase at Tier 1 pricing while supplies last at CapellaMusicFestival.com or in store at Blackbeard's, AA Rubis, FIS MoneyGram, Winter Circle, Tortuga, and Sing's Roadie Shop. Capella Music Festival, Saturday, March 29th. A true festival experience.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have a caller on hold. Before we go to the caller, we have been asked to send happy birthday greetings to Hilda. Birthday greetings coming from Sister Merlene Brown. I believe that is who it is. So happy birthday greetings to Hilda today. Wishing God's richest blessings coming from your sister. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, O.C.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Well, I have to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and Happy Birthday, everything in one.
All in one, all in one. Happy everything.
Yeah, man. I say, O.C., I've been around a couple of years myself, and really I never...
We're getting a feedback in the background. If you have a radio going, you may want to turn it down, please.
Okay. I say, I never did really hear too many people, but especially Caymanians, ever mention family. I know on those jobs that I used to be on, the Spaniards and the Filipinos, everything from them is family. That's for a day's work. They mention their family 2 or 3 times a day. So I really don't know how that come, but I would tell the young Caymanians this morning, that he's running in this election this year. A good family support, a strong family support is like a mountain, and you need to lean. If you need to lean, you got to have a mountain to lean on, man. So always remember, especially if you have a good family, how important it is.
Yep, so important, yep.
And everybody running in this election, especially the newcomers, talking about change. Well, see, I struggled with narcotics and alcohol for 65 years, wanting change in my life because I didn't like the way I was living in Cayman Islands. At last, it came, and I'm very determined to die sober. It's a good life to live. If you are going to achieve anything in life, you got to be sober. You got to be sober. You can't have habits and expect to achieve good things in life. Have a good day, O.C.
Thank you very much, and very courageous of you to publicly, state the problems that you have, give a testament to that and what needs to be done to overcome that, and the benefits of being free from any type of addiction is so important, as well. So I want to thank that caller. Like I said, it takes a courageous and a brave person to do that. Let's grab another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, O.C.
Morning.
Yes, sir. So I just want to ask you a question.
Okay.
What's the worst that could happen if we all didn't vote?
When you say we all didn't, you mean no one went out and voted at all? No one, not one person.
Nobody, not a scratch.
What would happen? Well,
tell me what you think would happen.
And this would be conjecture because the law doesn't really cover it, but you would end up having a by-election. If no one obtained any votes at all, then you would have to redo it all over again.
And if it keep recurring that nobody votes, what would happen?
I think that's far-fetched. That is quite far-fetched.
But not impossible.
Highly impossible. That's I would say that would be like your chances of winning a national lottery or even higher.
Okay then. All right. So what would be the chances of me voting and actually getting something that would benefit me? What do you think the chances of that?
I would say you have a 50-50 chance, but you have to do more than vote. After you vote, you have to hold the person for whom you have voted, especially if that person has been successful. Then you have to hold their feet to the fire, to say, I voted for you because of this. Now I want you to deliver. Hold them accountable.
Yeah, but in Cayman history, I never seen that happening, so can't really say it 50-50, OC.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason I said 50-50, because if you have to do your part in holding them accountable, and then the other 50% now has to do with whether or not the person is going to do it. It's like if you're running against you're running against only one candidate in a constituency, then you have a 50-50 chance of being elected. So if it's you and your candidate, you holding them accountable, then there's your 50-50 chance.
Well, I would think if the whole of the island didn't vote, or the whole of everybody didn't vote, I'm not saying, and I'm qualified.
No, I understand.
If that happened, I think that would prove or show that we lack confidence in the electoral system.
I see. Okay.
And just one last question. Also.
Sure.
How much of the candidates running?
I think there were 59. One had been determined not to be eligible, so down to 58.
Okay. How much of them are not with a lodge or not associated?
No idea.
No idea?
No.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you very much. Folks, we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we return, we will have Mr. Leon Gould in the studio. He is an independent candidate seeking to represent the constituency of Red Bay in our parliament in the upcoming April 30th general elections. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Step back in time and discover the rich history of the Cayman Islands at the National Museum. Located on the waterfront in Georgetown, the National Museum is proudly housed in the Old Courts building, Cayman's oldest standing public building. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's the best part, Saturdays are free for residents. Don't forget to visit our museum gift shop. Every purchase helps preserve our artifacts and the historic building we call home. Visit www.museum.ky for more information.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston. Easter Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. But I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board our uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
It's back. It's crispy. It's delicious. St. Ignatius Youth Ministry presents Friday Fish Fry Nights. 6 weeks of flavor. March 14th, 21st, 28th, April 4th, and 11th. Serving from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the St. Ignatius School Canteen. Dine in or take out. The menu includes fried or baked snapper, $17. Mahi-mahi, $15. Served with fries or rice, coleslaw, escovitch, fritters, and more. Drinks, just $1. Free desserts while they last. Eat good. Do good. Every bite supports our youth ministry trip to the Steubenville High School Youth Conference in Orlando, Florida this summer. Come hungry. Leave happy. See you there.
Cayman Brand Source Home Gallery is having an appliance inventory reduction sale with up to 50% off selected appliances and 25% off all kitchen packages until March 31st. Enjoy discounts on luxury brands like Foster, Milano, and more. Refrigerators, wine coolers, and barbecue grills are all discounted. All appliances are included in the sale. Don't miss out. Shop now at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, and save big before prices rise in April. Call 623-5000 for more details or visit us today and take advantage of these incredible deals. Act fast before the best items are gone. Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Call 623-5000.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Water Authority Cayman would like to advise its valued customers that its offices in Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac will be closed for a staff function on Friday, the 28th of March. The authority's Grand Cayman office will close early, with cashiers closing at 10:30 a.m. and customer service closing at 11 a.m. The customer service office in Cayman Brac will be closed for the day. The Cayman Brac operations facility will be manned by essential staff. As such, there will be limited delivery service on Friday. Trucked water customers in Cayman Brac are encouraged to plan ahead and make trucked water orders in advance. On Monday, the 31st of March, both offices will reopen with usual hours, and in Cayman Brac, normal trucked water deliveries will resume. The authority apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciates the public's understanding.
The following is a paid political broadcast. The views, information, or opinions expressed in this forum are solely those of the participants of this event and do not represent the views of the management and staff of Radio Cayman.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As promised, in the studio with me, we have Mr. Leon Gould, who's an independent candidate seeking to represent the constituency of Red Bay in our upcoming general elections. Mr. Gould, I don't know whether or not you heard a caller before who presented the scenario in terms of if nobody voted, what would happen. I would imagine that you're one of those candidates who would probably welcome such a scenario because you are one of those candidates who can actually vote for themselves in the constituency that you're running. So with that, I'm going to say good morning, welcome to For the Record, and welcome your comments in relation to that as well.
Good morning, OC. Good morning, Red Bay. Thank you for having me on For the Record. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, in regard to those comments, I find it very funny. But yeah, I can actually vote for myself, and I'm not running in a constituency that I don't actually live in, unlike a lot of the candidates that we see on the political scene right now. I'm running in Red Bay. I've been in Red Bay since 1985, since I was about 4 years old. My family bought the land in 1983 from Mr. Selkirk Watler himself. And we've been there ever since. Like I say, over 40 years, I'm still there. So this decision for me wasn't about political tactics to say, well, this is an easy seat because there's no incumbent. Let me run and take a chance at this or take a shot at this. This was about, the love I have for my community that I grew up in. I raised my kids there. My kids went to the Red Bay Primary School. It's a very emotional thing for me when I think about Red Bay. I don't like to talk about tattoos, but when I was a teenager, my first tattoo actually was not encouraging any kids to get tattoos, by the way.
Yep.
My first tattoo at the age of like 17, 16 was actually the word Red Bay. It's funny enough. Okay. And I just have a love for it, and I have a circle of friends that I grew up with in Red Bay, Mr. Hansel Rankin, Jeremy, a bunch of friends, Philip Nunez. We had a tight-knit circle of us growing up as kids.
Okay.
And what I see happening in Red Bay over the decades that I've been there is that we have lost a sense of community, and we have a lot of gated communities popping up in there now. And with gated communities, there comes a gated community mentality whereby we have a separation where I wouldn't say have and have nots, but people have this interpretation that, I'm living behind the gate, I'm better than you, or our kids don't mingle like they used to. And
or you so bad I have to insulate myself from you.
Exactly. Yeah, right. So I would like to see some more community brought back into the neighborhood. And I listened to your one of your previous callers discuss family, and I really appreciated his comments because I'm a family man myself. Between me and my wife, we have 6 kids, and we spend a lot of time with the kids, and we try to foster that relationship that we had growing up with our parents. And I see a lot of candidates putting themselves forward that are, some of them are even single, but it makes you question, where's the structure? If you can't, sustain that family life, where's the structure? And, I'm not against single people or have nothing against them, but if you're representing a constituency, I think you need to understand the value of family and raising a family and understanding its challenges, because it's not easy. It's very challenging. And I think that would be beneficial for any representative to have that understanding, and family is so important, because if you understand the importance of that, then you understand the importance of creating and fostering the sense of community.
Now, you spoke about the fact that you have grown up, in Red Bay, friends there, and everything. But as a candidate, that has not, you haven't taken that for granted. I've been here, so I know what's going around. So you obviously, walk around, go from house to house, sound out people in terms of what their concerns are, what they would like to see happening. What have you discovered, on these conversations with your constituents?
Well, the number one thing I keep hearing is that, the question comes up, where is our representative? Where is our representative? It's been 8 years, and, the only time we see a representative is around election time. And I am honestly hearing this. It's not something I'm making up. And I'm sure the other candidates that are running for Red Bay will share the same sentiments.
Mm-hmm.
Where is our representation? We elected a leader to lead us, and the leader has been missing over the past practically 8 years. We need a sense of, we need a voice. Red Bay needs a voice, and we haven't had that voice. And there's been a bunch of excuses, because our representative, took on different roles and stuff like that. But if you're a representative, I believe you should still always make time for the people that put you in office. These are the people that hired you to do a job. They should not be neglected at any cost. And that's what has been happening to Red Bay voters over the past 8 years. And, I just want to say that the party system in general, I want to touch on the party system, but
sure.
In regard to knocking on doors, that's been the main question I've been hearing. Where is our representation? Where is our voice? We don't have that anymore. And one of the other concerns that I've been hearing is, constituency offices. We need a constituency office. We need to bring that back. And we haven't had that again in the past 8 years. We need district councils. And we don't want a constituency office attached to a house. Because people can be skeptical about coming to a person's house, or hesitant, I should say, because I know where representatives have their constituency office at their home, and myself, I would feel kind of hesitant about approaching someone's personal home, because you don't want to disturb them. You don't know whether to show up or what time, various reasons. I think that should be something completely separate.
Mm-hmm. Well, is that a challenge for Red Bay, bearing in mind that it is a residential area? Finding office space actually in the immediate area would be extremely difficult, though. What would your solution be to that?
Actually, I have already identified somewhere potential.
Don't tell anyone.
No.
Keep that secret to yourself, right?
Yeah, we'll wait until election day and see what happens. But I already have identified a spot that will be looking to rent for an office, and it'll be completely separate it'll be a commercial space.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't be any residential address, and the stipend or the payment that each member receives will go toward that office and go towards the people of Red Bay.
Mm-hmm.
That money should not be used to pay mortgages, pay people's mortgages, or pay their bills. You have a separate salary to use for those purposes. The I think it's 5,000 stipend that each member receives is dedicated to the people. It should be given to the people, and spent on them however necessary. But I don't believe that money should be used to pay a mortgage, pay your bills, because you have an office in your house. That's unacceptable. Like, we need better standards of offices than that.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Gould, you come from a family that has been involved as a small business, so you have that in your DNA, in your genes, and you if you want to speak specifically of the business, that is up to you. But how does having a family background, being involved in small business, attune you to some of the issues that small businesses are facing now, and what the government can do to help small businesses thrive?
Well, thank you for that question. Yes, my grandparents, they, as you know, they started a small mom and pop store many, many moons ago, long before me. And they were very successful. You know, they purchased a lot of land back then. And most of my aunts and uncles, the majority of them are entrepreneurs as well. So they've taken on that spirit from my grandparents. And myself, I've been a small business owner for 19 years now. And I understand the challenges that small businesses face. For example, when I first started the business, I approached several banks for, you know, loans or to try and get some capital together. And it was very challenging approaching these banks. The banks don't want anything to do with small business owners. It's very, very hard for them. And as it is, the government actually makes it harder for small businesses to you know, get off their feet and get up and running. We can make it easier for small businesses. It's too much red tape. It's too much bureaucracy in front of, you know, Caymanians trying to start small businesses. Because I've been there. I've started several small businesses. And I still have 2 currently, but, you know, there's a lot that can be done in that regard. We need to cut away some of the red tape and allow people to open their businesses, because employment right now is hard to find. And I noticed that we're quick to look at ways to cut back potential business or potential items that can generate revenue, such as cruise tourism. People are so quick to say, you know, do away with cruise tourism. But, you know, regardless of how much it makes, there is a potential to make something there from it. And if we cut it away, we do have to ask the question, what will we replace it with? And if someone can provide me with that answer, I'm happy to consider it. You know, what do we replace it with? We see during the COVID pandemic, the government had to provide stipends to tourism workers. I think it was maybe 2,000 or 3,000 workers, and they were providing $1,500 a month to these workers. That equates to millions of dollars that the government had to spend taking care of people through the pandemic. So just imagine we get rid of cruise tourism. Who is going to take care of these people? Where are they going to go for work? It's not as easy as saying, oh, you know, reskill them. How do we reskill them? How do we retool them? It's not that simple. It's a much bigger project. And, you know, I am a person that I love the environment. You know, I'm passionate about the environment, but I think what we need to be careful about is how we do away with potential business or models that, you know, has the potential for generating revenue without having any solution on how to replace them. So we need to look at ways to create new revenue streams for the government. And I have several ideas on how we could do that.
Okay. I know you want to make an announcement before 10 o'clock because this segment is without a commercial break. So for the whole half hour now we're going through with it. So I'm going to invite you now to make that announcement.
Yeah, so I have a little giveaway here. Gift certificate from Mykonos. I actually won it in a raffle recently, and I want to give it away. And I'm going to make it very easy. The first Red Bay voter that sends me a WhatsApp message to 917-9257 will be the winner of the gift certificate to Mykonos Steakhouse.
And they have to be a registered voter in the constituency of Red Bay.
Correct. You have to be a registered voter in Red Bay. And just send me a WhatsApp. That's all you have to do. 917-9257, and the gift certificate is yours. Like I said, I won it in a raffle, and I want to give it away. So,
Okay, now this is, I'm being a little bit sarcastic here, but being real at the same time. That voters list that you're talking about, are we talking about the voters list that is currently in play, or the one that's going to come into effect on the 1st of April?
Either. I'll make it even easier. Either one.
Yes, because that is so important to know. That list that comes out on the 1st of
Yes.
April, it will be the official list.
Yes.
That will be used during the election. So repeat that number again, because they're going to send you a WhatsApp message. It's not going to come through the Radio Cayman's phone. It's going to come directly to you.
To me. So the number is 917-9257. That's my personal number. Anyone in Red Bay also that would like to reach out to me if you have any questions or comments or ideas about how you would like changes to be made in Red Bay, please give me a call. I've been canvassing for the past few weeks and meeting with a lot of residents, especially in Admiral's Landing at the moment. And I've been I have to say the people have been so welcoming in the Admiral's Landing community, and I have to give them a big thanks for that. They're so kind, such a nice community. And then as well as Selkirk, I haven't really done a lot of work in Selkirk as yet because a lot of people already know me in Selkirk. That's why
But you don't want to take them for granted.
No. I've already been there for from last year. I've been meeting with people there and stuff like that. But that's why I used to buck my toe up and down those streets. So people down there know me, and but I'm just doing it bit by bit, section by section, and the feedback has been amazing. And since the chamber debate, I can tell you, OC, I've been getting so many calls, so many positive messages, and I want to give a big thanks to the people that have reached out, encouraged me, and promised their support as well.
Okay. Two things we want to talk about. We want to talk about traffic because the people in Red Bay find themselves in some parts of Red Bay find themselves in a very ticklish situation when it comes to traffic and going into town. Sometimes you have to head east before you can head west. The other entity that's always been mentioned for Red Bay is the Eddie K. Sanchez Park. I believe that's in Red Bay as well.
Yes.
And there are always questions as to when is the park going to be developed? How is that now? Has it been fully developed, or do you have visions of improving that park?
Well, the Eddie Sanchez Park is being developed. Actually, they're doing some work on it now. I see they've put in some new playground items for the kids recently. But I want to take my focus away from that and create more community spaces as well. Because for the people in Admiral's Landing, the people in Selkirk, the people in Patrick Island, they'd have to literally drive their car to get to that park. I believe each of these communities should have their own small park. It doesn't have to be as big as the Eddie Sanchez Park, but I've actually already identified a place in Selkirk where it's a public land that we can use for a small scale park, and maybe even a community garden that we can get the kids to come out and plant trees and stuff like that. And so I want to spread it out, because the Eddie Sanchez Park is a development that's it's well on its way. It's a great space, very large space, but the people in the other neighboring streets, they need access to recreational centers as well. So Selkirk Drive, like I say, Admiral's, Patrick Island, we want to get them their own spaces that they can take the kids to play and stuff like that. In regards to traffic, Red Bay is a big bottleneck problem, but help is on the way, because NRA has already, they're almost finished with adding the third lane going into town and coming out of town. So that will be a big help. Let's see if it solves the bottleneck problem. But coming out of Selkirk Drive is another big problem. Plans are already in place for that opening, because there's an opening, a connector that goes connects Selkirk to Bimini Drive. Plans are already in place for that, and once I'm elected, I am gonna put my neck on the line and guarantee that will be open within 6 months of being in office. Because the plans are already in place. It's just a matter of a few small details that are being finalized, but that road will be open and it'll connect straight and go right across Bimini and come up behind the Kings Sports Center.
Okay.
And you can see the work. If you drive by, you'll see Kings. The work has already begun there. So Red Bay people, be patient with NRA. They're doing a great job, and give it some time. One of the issues I see that we have with Red Bay is also pedestrian crossing the road. It's a 40-mile-per-hour speed limit crossing that area there. And we have a lot of nannies that come in and out of Red Bay in the morning. They have to cross the street in the morning to get into Selkirk, and they have to cross the street when they're leaving. It's very, very dangerous. My suggestion is that we build an overpass, bridge, or a walking overpass that they can cross the street without, blocking traffic or risking their lives.
Having to encounter traffic, yeah.
Yes, it's very, very dangerous. Cars coming up there, racing all the time. Another issue that we've been hearing about a lot in Red Bay is speeders, actually in Selkirk Drive in particular. One of my suggestions is that we put in speed cameras, and there's new technology now using AI that can actually identify the vehicle and issue tickets directly without having any police intervention. So these cameras will pick up the car, take their license plate, and send them a ticket in the mail. And one of the things and
then your failure to pay that, then that's monitored by individuals who then go out and
yes,
deal
that will
with
be it'll be digitized. So a lot of that will be automatic. So your failure to pay that, you'll be issued a court summons. Because just recently, someone, one of the neighbors, someone ran over the cat, a speeder, and killed the cat, and there's no speed bumps in there. So some people are on the fence about speed bumps, but I think that's something that we need to consider, speed bumps. But the speed cameras are more efficient than speed bumps because we can actually catch them in the act, and we can send them the ticket directly to their mailbox. So that's one of the things that we would like to implement in there.
Mr. Gould, I want to share one comment that has come from one of our listeners. It says, I want to extend my heartfelt congratulations to Mr. Leon Gould for his outstanding leadership in his independent campaign. His dedication to the community is truly commendable. He has been tirelessly knocking on doors, genuinely listening to the concerns of the people. He embodies the right spirit for the job with the country's best interest at heart. His vision for meaningful change prioritizes our Caymanian people in every aspect. A few weeks ago, he led a successful community cleanup, and he excelled at the recent Chamber Forum. I want to say to Mr. Gould, continue to persevere despite the challenges. God bless you and your family, and all the very best.
Thank you very much to the listener for that lovely comment. And I want to touch on the community cleanup as well, OC. I realize we don't have a lot of time left. The community cleanup went very well. However, I was taken back because I noticed that the other candidates that are running for Red Bay did not attend the cleanup. And I was actually shocked because I really expected them to be there. I was hoping they would show up, and they didn't show up.
Again, to show that community spirit. Yeah,
you have to show that community spirit, right? And we need to learn to put ego and politics aside sometimes. And if you can't do that before you get elected, what's going to happen when you get elected? Is that going to be the case? You're going to let your egos prevent you from working with certain people? Because that's exactly what it was, And if they hosted a community cleanup, I would have been happy to attend because I might be able to take some of their voters as well. So, for me, it would be an opportunity. I would see it as an opportunity as well, But if you get up on a platform and say you care so much about the community, and a community cleanup is happening where you can actually go out and show initiative, and then you have this opportunity and you don't attend because of politics or egos, then that could be a demonstration of what's to come in Parliament, and we don't need that. We've already seen what happened in the last 4 years.
But you know how Caymanians are, right? Some people may be hesitant to attend your thing because they would say, He got some nerve. Mr. Gould, he's a candidate, and then they show up at his, cleanup campaign as well.
Well, again, it's a community cleanup. It's not about me. It's about the community.
Yes.
And if we do care about the community, everyone was welcome. I didn't say, everyone except anyone. I said everyone come out. We had breakfast. It was great, and it wasn't actually only about the community. It was about bringing back the sense of that unity amongst us. And they didn't show up, and I was really taken aback by that. And we don't need that to happen in Parliament. We've seen where people don't want to work with people because of politics and egos and stuff. That's not what we need. We need a mature group of individuals that can come together, put their egos aside, and make things happen. And we don't need parties to do that.
Mm-hmm. Now, before I invite you to for some closing comments, have you received the WhatsApp?
Yes,
and
I did.
Do you want anything that you want to identify or announce on there, or you will just contact the person afterwards?
I did. So I will say that we have a winner, and the winner is Mrs. Susan Ebanks. She's the winner for the gift certificate. She was the first one to message me. I actually got some more messages, but she was the first one to message me at 9:47 a.m. Okay. So congratulations to Miss Susan Ebanks. You're the winner. And I will bring that gift certificate by later on today. I know where you live.
Okay. Closing comments from you, Mr. Gould.
I just want to say, thank you, OC, for having me on the show today. And I want to say to the people of the Cayman Islands, and especially the people in Red Bay, please give me a chance. I'll make you proud. Hold me accountable. There's been no representation for us in the past 8 years. I will be your voice, and I can be an independent voice. Please give me a chance. I will not let you down. I'll make you proud. And, I just want you to listen to me. I'm going to be knocking on doors for the next few weeks right up until election. I want to hear your concerns. Call me. Again, my number is 917-9257. I'll be having a community meeting on April the 5th at the CI Sailing Club in Red Bay. It's an area meeting I'm having there. Please come out. I want to hear from you. So April 5th, Cayman Islands Sailing Club. That's going to be one of my meetings. I don't have...
What's the time for that?
It's going to be at 7 p.m. at the Sailing Club. And again, I don't have the resources that some of these parties have. I have a very small budget to work on. And I'm really, this is a David and Goliath situation. But come out, I'm doing what I can with the little that I have. And I'm hoping to get your support. The party system, we don't need that. We need leaders that can work together. And it doesn't take a party for people to act like grown-ups and work together. We can make it happen. Please vote for me on April 30th. I'm number 2 on the ballot.
Okay. Mr. Gould, I want to thank you. Thank you very much. The feedback that we got, quite positive as well. Want to wish you all the best in your endeavors and hope that we have an opportunity to continue to interview you as well.
I hope I get to come back soon again.
Certainly.
I'm sure.
We maybe I can ask this publicly. I was going to ask you after we got off the air because my boss has asked to inquire as to whether or not you will be attending the or whether or not you've confirmed your participation for our debate, which will take place on the 2nd of April at 7 p.m.
I haven't confirmed yet, but it's something I have been taking into consideration. But I'll be in contact with Radio Cayman on that for sure.
Well, hopefully this interview has made you more comfortable and more confident in terms of what we do here at Radio Cayman. Not biased at all. Give everyone, an opportunity. So we hope that you will be able to confirm your. I think that's going to be extremely important. Our listener and viewer base here at Radio Cayman, slightly different age group from some, but we get a mixture here. We'll be 50 years old.
Wow.
Come next year.
And I'll say that Radio
as
Cayman,
well.
Yeah, Radio Cayman is the most trusted news
source
station in the island, and I really appreciate you guys, and I respect you, and again I want to thank you for your time and for having me on.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Folks, that's it for us. Let me remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are. And we should extend a helping hand to them. If we can't do that, then we should donate to worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join me at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
The preceding was a paid political broadcast. For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice. And the Cayman Islands National Museum. Explore captivating exhibits and learn about our unique heritage and culture.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976.